This happened back in 2005. I was 18, living in Uvalde, Texas, a low-income neighborhood, the kind scattered all over rural Texas once you're far enough from a city. The closest real city was San Antonio. I took my old pickup truck. The gas gauge didn't even work. I had to track my own mileage. Friday afternoon, I took Route 90 straight into the city. No traffic. Easy drive. We drank that night, went to a dive bar, got back around 2 a.m. The next day, Andrew and his girlfriend started fighting. It got uncomfortable fast. I decided to head home early. It was close to midnight. Route 90 was completely deserted. I was flying, for my truck standards anyway. Then the engine started sputtering. My heart dropped. I'd forgotten to fill the tank. I pulled to the shoulder, tried to restart it. Nothing. I grabbed my phone. No signal. Not a single bar. I couldn't call anyone, so I put my hazards on and waited. Car after car passed and ignored me. I waved my arms. Nothing. Eventually, I gave up and decided to just sleep until sunrise. I cut the battery, reclined my seat, and closed my eyes. Just as I started drifting off, a car door closed behind me. I looked in the rearview mirror. A car had pulled up behind me, headlights off, a big pickup truck. Maybe someone stopped to help. I got out, called out, "Excuse me?" Nothing. Walked closer. The truck was empty. This was weird. I checked the tree line. Maybe someone was just relieving themselves in the woods. I got back in my car, locked the door. Then, a tap on my window. I jumped. A man was looking down at me through the glass, smiling. "Hey buddy, need a hand?" I cracked the window, told him I'd run out of gas. "That's quite the predicament. Step out and give me a hand with this real quick." I stepped out, shut the door. Instead, he just stood there, towering over me, still smiling. "I need you to empty your pockets, please." I ran, straight for the trees. I looked back. He was chasing me. I zigzagged through the trees until I lost him, crouched behind a big tree, held my breath. I heard him getting closer. Then I heard him say it, out loud. "I'll kill you, you piece of shit." I don't know if he meant for me to hear that. I didn't move. I stayed behind that tree the entire night, until dawn. When I went back, the truck was gone. But both my doors were open. My glove box had been emptied. My flannel hoodie was gone too. I eventually waved down a good Samaritan. He drove me to the nearest gas station, helped me fill a can, and brought me back. I learned something that night. There are bad people out there who will take advantage of you, but there are good people too.
When I was 18, I was immature, a little reckless on the road. I went to school 5 hours from home. During breaks, I'd drive back at night to dodge traffic. I drove a beat-up Mazda 3. I had a bad habit, running the tank down close to empty every single time. People always commented on it. I always told them it had at least 30 more miles left, even past E. That night, I found out I was wrong. About an hour into the drive, the car started making strange sounds, jolting. I'd run the tank completely empty. I got off at the first exit, hoping for a gas station. No streetlights, just woods on either side. I blew through a stop sign, made a sharp turn onto another dark road. Then the engine died completely. I checked my phone, no bars. I tried 911 anyway, nothing. I turned on my hazards and waited. Eventually, headlights appeared. I flashed mine. The car passed, then made a U-turn and pulled up on the grass behind me. I was an 18-year-old girl, alone, with no idea who was about to get out of that car. I cracked my window, told him I needed help. He offered me a ride to the nearest gas station. Balding, glasses. He looked trustworthy enough. I didn't have another option. I locked my car and got into his. A black Honda. It smelled strange inside. I couldn't place it. He made small talk, asked where I was from, said they didn't get many out-of-towners on this road. Nothing but woods the whole way. I asked if he knew a gas station nearby. Yeah, just a ways up the road. That's when I started hearing it, bumping, thumping, from the back of the car. I told myself it was just something loose in the trunk. He kept talking, and talking, like he didn't want the silence to settle. Finally, we reached a small town. Lights, a diner, a few houses. We stopped at a red light. For the first time the whole ride. Silence. And then I heard it. Unmistakable. Someone screaming. From the trunk. Followed by thumps and bangs. I looked at him. He looked at me. In a split second, I unbuckled, threw the door open, and ran. He grabbed for me, tried pulling me back in. I heard him get out of the car, but instead of chasing me, he ran to slam his passenger door shut. Then I heard him floor it down the street. I ran into the diner, asked for help, made a scene, used their phone to call 911. Police showed up, several of them. They needed every detail. They drove me back to get my own car, helped me get AAA to bring gas. That was the most terrifying night of my life. I still wonder about the person in that trunk. I hope they're still alive somewhere. For all I know, he could have been bringing me to the same place. I was just lucky I had a chance to run at that red light.
I live in Burke County, North Carolina, a quiet, rural town. You get strange characters here and there, usually nothing serious. My work shifts rotate, sometimes days, sometimes nights. This happened on a night I was driving home from a night shift. Around 3 a.m., my phone was almost dead. I was hungry, tired. I stopped at a gas station, got $10 of gas and a sandwich. Some guy was watching me the whole time, then he left without buying anything. I filled up and got back on the road. The smell of gasoline was unusually strong. The roads out here are dark and twisty at night. I was driving slow, exhausted. Then the needle on my gas gauge suddenly dropped to E-low fuel light. Beeping. I'd never run out of gas before. I'd just filled up minutes earlier. I thought it was a glitch. I pulled over and restarted the car. Still on E. I kept driving. The engine died. I called my husband, panicking. Asked how the car could run out of gas right after I'd filled it. As I stepped out, I smelled gasoline. He said it sounded like a leak. Then I heard a car approaching. No headlights. It stopped, not far behind mine. I asked my husband if that guy had done something. His tone changed instantly. Yes, there's a chance he may have cut my fuel line. I didn't fully understand what that meant. I just knew I needed to run. I pulled my keys, shut the door, locked it so the lights would cut off. Phone at 2%. I ran off the road toward the first house I could find, up a long driveway, every light off inside. I rang the bell anyway, multiple times. Finally, a light turned on. The door opened. A man in his 60s, looked like he'd just woken up. I asked to come in, just to hide. He let me in, asked me to sit in the living room while he looked for a charger. He called out from the kitchen, asked if I wanted water. I said yes. He didn't know there was a mirror in the living room, one that gave me a clear view into the kitchen. I watched him fill a glass. Then I watched him drop something into it. He stepped out of view. The faucet kept running, 30 more seconds before he turned it off. He came back, handed me the glass. I thanked him. He sat, just looked at me, asked me to explain the situation again. I told him I just needed a charger. My phone hit 1%. I used the last of it to send my location to my husband, just in case. I smelled the water. It didn't smell like anything, but I knew. He came back down, said he only had an Android charger. I stood up, walked straight for the door. Once outside, I ran, back down the driveway, back to the road. I felt sick. 2 separate men, 2 separate threats. I crept along the tree line beside the road, sent my updated location. That's when my battery finally died. I waited. Eventually, I saw my husband's headlights. I ran toward them, waving. I broke down in his truck. We drove back to my car. The vehicle that had been parked behind it was gone, but my back window was shattered. Someone had gotten into the back seat. My car battery was dead too. When I told my husband about the water, he wanted to drive back. I told him no. The mechanic confirmed it the next day. The fuel line had been cut completely. I took the next few days off. I needed time to recover. Twice in one night, I was almost a victim of 2 different men. I still can't fully wrap my head around it.